Everything sound good?
It does.
You sound yourself all right?
It sounds dope.
Yo, thank you very much for coming, Alex. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Shit, man. So we were just talking about Gem.
Yes. Gem was a movie.
Dude, all right, so the way that the strobe light was, honestly, like, probably wouldn't be the best if a fight broke out. You know what I'm saying?
So the cool thing about Gem is that we have control of the lights.
Oh, really?
So whoever was behind the booth was controlling the lights to the DJ.
Ah, that's dope. Can you put it on automation so it just follows the like certain frequency or beat or something like that?
Yeah, it's a pad and it's like all pre-programmed.
Yo, that was a great time. Happy belated birthday again. Throw it out there on the air.
The big 2-1.
Yo, and I'm not sure we don't need to. Yeah, the big 2. Hey, fucking age is how you feel, right?
Exactly.
And then there's also how healthy your back is. My brother would always say that you're as old as your back.
You know, sometimes better than others.
Yeah. I was thinking though. So for everybody that's listening, there is some magical shit in the air by the way that you and I got together, by the way that Collective Budz end up getting started. I'm talking, you know, so I'm big on zodiacs and astrology and stuff like that, and what I've really been saying is, hey, even if it's a placebo effect, like, I'll take that, because the placebo effect is just as good to me as whatever the real thing is. And I think what zodiacs will do for me, and I got boys a few of my other boys that are cancers too, that I'll send like the horoscope and stuff too, and then they won't get back to me all day because they'll be like, dude, honestly, I didn't even, my boy Joey, like I didn't get back to you, I didn't even want to read that message. He's like, because sometimes it'll fuck with his head, right? Because he'll read it and then think
it's so spot on,
too much into it, right? And for me, the way that I think about it is, I'd rather have the heads up the day before. If it's all true and something's about to go, I'd rather have a heads up the day before, and I'd rather be able to walk into that shit situation with a better mind state, or be able to like check myself on it, you know. So I'm reading my weekly at the time, and that week that I met you, and it brought up some things saying about how like a mutual friend would end up bringing you together with something that is a lot more aligned with your passions, your dreams, everything else like that. It said this shit would happen later in the week, like late Thursday, Friday. And I'm pretty sure we got up on a Friday. It was a Thursday or a Friday, right? And I go out, and then there was the whole teaching the Uber driver how to do sales, and then going to that first spot, and then seeing you guys with Steven taking shots out in the street. And then I walked in. That
was crazy. Yeah. That was crazy that we were literally on the same street, going to the same place, and we caught you caught us. You were literally directly behind us while we were shooting in the street, right?
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna feel about it, but I got almost all my Lyft and Uber driver conversations recorded. I throw on voice memo. I put the phone in my pocket right here, because, well, wouldn't Samson be doing that, considering I got the podcast, I'm doing this now?
Of course.
So I'm talking to him, and I literally, in that recording, I'm like, look at these dudes doing it for the gram. Fucking walked right out like, oh, everything's all good, stopped traffic, took a shot, and I was thinking to myself, like, yo, that must be a dope shot, because it looked straight down the street. And then you just had all those lights in the north end that they're hanging up. Let
me show you them.
Oh, please do.
Yeah.
Please do.
They're pretty dope.
So then I go to the next spot, and what was so weird is when I sat down at that table, I sat down in the middle seat. Like, fuck it, whoever comes, like, it'll break everyone up more or anything like that. And then you guys walk in, and I'm just like, oh shit, I just saw you. And then that email is what really changed it. Like,
you know, I guess being in sales, I have, you know, kind of a background behind, like, you know, putting paragraphs and stuff together. Yeah. But I really wanted to, you know, let everybody know in that email who everybody in the email was, right? So I wanted to write a quick description. I only met you
that night
for a couple of hours.
That was 30 minutes before it was like, I'm there tomorrow.
Right.
And it just so happened to be, was it the next day or something like that, that the first meeting was. I was like, dude, I was about it for the next week. That's all I know. I'm still about it now. You wouldn't put that email out on the air, would you?
I don't care. Yeah, go for it, bro. Yeah.
Yo, I think you should. Oh, damn, these are the shots. Yo, that's... Boston got, so he did something nice where the way that the blue and orange comes through on that. Damn, oh yeah, then we're all together. I guess I might as well. For anybody on there, boom. Dope shot. And I'm literally like right there. Well, I think that might be a slightly different spot, but
yeah, it was crazy because when
you could kill that straight.
When we were yeah, it's all good. Now, when we were just chatting, we weren't even talking about the collective at that point. We were just shooting the shit. Yeah. And I think you had dropped this. You had dropped this, and I was like, "Yo, this is dope, bro." Like, we have DJs. My goal in my head was to mix different art together. So not just have DJs. Yes, they're the focal point, right? Because we do events and stuff like that. Yeah. But like a podcast, like that's crazy. You know what I mean? And the buzz that you're getting from it and the buzz that you're gonna get from it, why wouldn't I want to be a part of that? You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. It's a dope concept, and I was like, yeah, man, this sounds dope, bro. Like, let me drop this. I didn't even talk to my guys. I was like, nah, I don't need to talk to my guys. Like, this guy has a dope vibe, you know?
Thank you.
He has a dope vibe. He has real energy, and that's like the biggest thing for our group is the energy, right? Like the vibe and like how everybody connects, and there's no fuckboy shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, because because I dealt with that in the past, like different projects that I've been a part of, and just different personalities. Like, they were extremely talented, super talented guys that are doing amazing work on their own. But when you put them in a group, they just it just changed everything. Yeah.
So and we checked that. So for everyone listening. Then, like a week after we met, we ended up having this meeting that was just basically setting the first few steps into place for this art collective. And in that meeting, the first thing that we did, which I love, that was natural coming out of you, because this is sales one-on-one, right? Set the expectation. You got to set the expectation before anything else is done. And one of the things that was brought up many times on all parties was like, yo, we will check each other. Right? If you're not really doing the work, if you're not really putting it in there, you expect it only come, right? You're going to get checked. Don't be offended by the truth. Most of us are scared running into this in the first place, and scared in the way where this kind of actually like means something. And then on top of it, it's just like, yo, okay, so when you fresh that out, there's something about freshing that out in the very start, the setting of the expectation, that just, it sets a tone for the rest of it. Yeah, and then this is where...
I don't mean to interrupt, but have you ever been part of a meeting where it's just, you're just talking in circles? Right?
Yeah.
You know, and like, I've been part of those, and I'm like, what's the point of getting people together if you're just gonna talk in circles? Like, no, we're gonna vibe. We're gonna get creative, but there has to be like, hey, like this is what we need to hit, right? So like the first meeting is not really, we don't really have a project that we're gonna start, but the project at that time is, I want to get to know you, you want to get to know him, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and that's a great point. The project at that time is really getting to know each other. First and foremost, before any of the work gets done, this is your team. And people didn't just evolve and become people by immediately starting a task together. So that's a good point. There's always a community before there was really the task, like in all of our evolution as a species, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But, so so just for everyone that, you know, is kind of like, what are you guys talking about? So myself, Samson, and DJ Drunky, Twin the Selecta, Mohammed Denny, Steven shot me, my boy Lewis, who's you know hasn't been able to really connect with us, but he's still down. DJ Viper wasn't there, but he's down.
I got to spend a little bit of time with him.
Yeah,
when we were waiting on the way out of jail.
Yeah. Oh, where
them subs bumping twin subs. Oh my God.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, yeah, he got a system.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave out my boy Kenji, the producer. He's an integral part. He's the quietest guy, but he knows what he's doing, and he has some dope. He's got some dope stuff to bring to this project. So we all got together and we mutually discussed like what our personal goals are. I had a conversation with everyone individually before the collective, and then in a group setting, we kind of shared the same information. And Drunky, Twin, those are young guys there, and Viper's a little older, but he's like a really good mentor. Can't forget DJ Sticks. He hasn't been able to make the meeting, but he's down. So these guys are kind of like the big brother to my Drunky and Twin. Yep. So I said, let's vibe off of that, right? Let's vibe off of that. You guys, they came up with a mixtape, which we're going to an event, a mixtape pre-release party.
Right after this.
Yeah, it's crazy. And we, there has to be a way that we can all support each other, right? So for instance, you have the podcast going on, right? We're all going to share it. We're all going to, show love on social media. We're all going to support it. We're all going to be part of it.
Thank you.
My guys, my guys Twin and Drunky, they may have or Viper, they have a gig. We're all gonna support that. We're all gonna come out tonight. We're all gonna do that in the future. So just kind of creating a brotherhood of support. And then through that, we said, yo, let's put some stuff together. Let's put some events together, which will we don't have any announcements yet, but we got some stuff in the works. Let's put some stuff together. Let's do some events. Let's if my guy's at a party DJing, let's show out. Let's grab a table and go crazy and really show that there's a culture. There is still a culture in Boston of guys that can work together.
And a lot of people don't go out with their, let's just say even just 5 people. A lot of people don't always go out with 5 other people. So off the rip in the room is a bunch of people where maybe aside from the person you showed up with, there's a few other people whose vibe you already know and you're sharing, right? I'm convinced that the more of the same shared vibe, the higher the energy as a whole, the more understanding, community, everything with all people. Let's show out to everybody who's trying to do something, and off the rip show that fucking, like that alone in a room, right? Bunch of fucking studs.
Yep.
In the room, flat, and honestly, I know you guys are just listening, or there might be a YouTube, but like this sneaker game in this crew is on a different level.
It's on a different
I'm like,
level.
we just need to like automatically start making those videos and send it out. Next thing you know, we'll be like a rep for them.
Sponsor.
Someone told me, it might even been Nick, or maybe it was one of you guys, told me that some cat made like commercials. I think it was for Nike.
I don't know about that, but we do have a homie. Shout out to Miway. He is, he came a long way. He came up through the Boston scene, throwing parties, mixtapes, doing his own stuff with music, just doing a bunch of stuff in the culture, in the scene. And he's a photographer and videographer, with a crazy eye. And he got picked up recently by a few big artists. We know him too.
By an artist, or like by a brand?
Big ones. He shot for Ciroc. With Diddy and
shout to Coleman Enterprises.
All those guys. And what else did he do? He did stuff with Alex Sensation, a bunch of stuff. I mean, a bunch of the artists that you hear on the radio today, he's probably working with them behind the scenes. So I don't know where we came.
Well, so different person, but dope to shout that out. And,
right.
Like when the thing that I heard of, I think was someone basically was obsessed with Nike, this cat, and he just started making his own, but like dope commercials with and for the product, and they just scooped his ass up.
Oh shoot!
Well, you forget that those companies are big enough where like if they probably have a street team, and if they want to on the side, they can just say, let's get some free liberty. Maybe we should talk about the sponsor look in regards to maybe just us first and foremost.
Well, I mean,
You know, like we want for events, but like
absolutely.
We're just as ill of a crew to.
I mean, so the talent that we have amongst our collective,
there's a lot of talent.
Unofficially Organic Budz, soon to be an official name, with maybe a variation, but that's. You know, that's unofficial.
Shout out to Kenji. That's all Kenji too, man. Yeah. Just being like, yo, hey, watch how we can market this. And that's true. Marketing is important.
And how Organic Budz, like smoke a lot of weed, right?
That's a mushroom.
Yeah.
That's not even a weed. Damn, fuck it. It came into the yo, and then that's a different intelligence. Yeah. So that mushroom sitting there like, I want to be a part of that. I bet if Nick is listening, he's got to at least be giggling because we always say, oh, don't make it. That's not just a drug.
So so Organic Budz. It has nothing to do with weed. That's the crazy part about it. I mean, I smoke a lot of weed. I think everyone in the crew does, except for Drunky.
I'm tapering down.
Yeah, but
I won't anymore. Actually, aside from like this podcast. Yeah. Shout out to my aunt Tiny because I know she's watching, so she just needs to know I'm not smoking every day. Don't worry.
He's not smoking every day.
I love you.
Organic Budz. The concept is organically we're buds, right? So like organic energy and a bond of friends. That I mean. This is crazy, man. It's you know, it's been a short period of time, but what we've progressed and done so far, man, it's insane.
Yeah, and it's official setup. I mean, we've messed with corporate. Practice makes professional, and you sometimes when you're professional, you gotta do that first to understand practice makes professional. But once you do it, you know. You need to set the expectation in the first meeting that everyone needs to have the same vibe. That you need to show up. You know, there's a structure to it.
Yeah, and I'll kind of just go over. You had asked me.
Yeah. If you'll just read that. So and the reason why I'm making a bigger deal than this, just for everybody listening, is because for me, yo, that moment and that day was a different level type of sign. Like I had just jumped out of corporate. I just said like, you know what, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna make sure I'm not gonna be lying. The last person I'll be lying to is myself. And I think the moment you're lying to yourself, you're automatically lying to everybody else. And I guess at the end, like the politeness and respectfulness is what is gonna get me here, because I did it. I got out of that bitch just to be like, not even just like for me first and foremost, but just because I don't want to be lying to you.
Right.
I'm telling people I'm gonna be showing up here again, that like, oh, things are gonna be great. Like you're a manager, you can't be like down in the team, you know. Right. So like you kind of always need to be a level of fake, even if you don't have the real faith. Like fuck the fake shit. But so then I sit down at the restaurant. We go out for Shannon's birthday. I sit down in middle seat with 2 empty seats. These cats show back up. Alex and I are talking for 30 minutes, and you know, on the first few minutes, you automatically recognize when you're talking to another real motherfucker. Like the realness cannot be faked, and the one thing that there's no question, right? There's no question. So conversation gets going, and basically he told me that getting an art collective together, wasn't even Organic Budz yet, right? We still like unofficial like that because you got to know how to release yourself, right? So that's the only reason why it's unofficial like that. Otherwise it's official as fuck. And he shows me this email at the bar, and I asked him to forward it to me, and you can ask Nicky Wah, because I sat his ass down here, I turned that camera on, and then I started filming while I read him the email because of how overcome I was.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate that.
No doubt.
You know, you got that feeling
a little bit.
Yeah, word. So this is an email that you know, I put together after kind of speaking to everybody, and you just getting a commitment from everyone that was included on this email chain. It was hard for me to, you know, I couldn't reach out to everybody. I really wanted to reach out to the people that I had a really good vibe and good connection with the intentions of working with more people, you know, kind of starting small, mastering our craft, and then, you know, making it more available to other people to, if they want to be down, you know, hey man, I think it's going to be a pretty game changing project that we have going on.
Agreed.
Yeah. So, hello all. I wanted to take a quick second and give you some insight on the idea I have of creating an artist collective. The idea of putting an artist collective came after a few of us realized that we were pretty much connected in some way to the same circle. Although individually we may all have our own personal goals, it seems as though we all want the same thing for our hometown market. I rep Boston like you wouldn't believe. I find that the most obvious aspect lacking in this market is the common idea of supporting the local talent. There's been a stigma in Boston for a long time that everyone is only out for themselves. And while I agree that you should always take care of yourself first, there should be no reason why we shouldn't support our fellow homies. Hence the concept of creating a collective. What is an artist collective?
Yeah,
so
and I liked how you broke this down.
Yeah.
Right?
And so, in case, some of you guys may not know, I started an artist collective that is pretty successful right now.
What's it called?
MMXVAC.
Well, okay, yeah.
Okay. So we're a prominent record label. We started off as an artist collective with the same concept. There were some DJs that turned to producers. They can spin. They were nasty, and they also, they were learning the producing game, and they wanted to get their music out. And they just had this raw talent, and they wanted, to create a circle that they knew that they could trust their homies to support their craft. And
I love how you say craft, like, just because this is how on point it is with everything with
seriously, man, this is the real deal.
Yeah.
So my homie Scrvp, we've been homies forever. I used to run a nightclub in Central Square, and he was one of my resident DJs.
What? And that's Naga.
In Naga, yep.
Word.
He was one of my. It's cool, man.
Okay,
Naga's no longer. Naga is something different. La Fabrica. Yep. Actually, those are my homies. Renato's my homie.
No doubt.
He's the GM over there. If you ever want to go and show some love, man,
What's his
tell
name?
him I said hi. His name is Renato. He's my homie. Yeah, him and I were we were partners for a little while, and we crushed it over there. So Scrvp was our guy, and he was like a little brother at the time. He was a little younger. He was very mature, and we just clicked.
A little younger. Like how much younger?
He's not 30 yet. He's almost there, but he's not there.
Gotcha.
We're in our 30s.
Yeah.
So he's like a younger brother. Him and my other boy Moses and D-Say. There was like a little camp that we had going on.
Right.
So we vibed, and then we kind of started doing some different things. I got out of the nightclub and the music business. I went back into corporate America.
And what do you do?
So I'm a general sales manager at a I won't say the name, but a luxury dealership, luxury car dealership. Yeah, man. So 60 hours a week, I'm out there in the grind, pushing sales.
See, and I had to have you highlight that because first and foremost, like, I fuck with the stereotype when certain people see me. Yeah. Right? I met someone.
I feed off of that. Trust me. When I'm out of work and I'm pulling up in different cars and I have the look going on.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying?
I definitely do too.
Yeah, I feed off of that.
But there's some people that will listen and that need to know you're able.
For sure.
You're already there.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, these guys
on that level.
Oh, facts. And these guys, and they don't know that, and some of them do. Some recognize. Oh, I see you doing this, and can you help me? And I help them if I can. I've helped a lot of people buy cars that are close friends. So, but at the same time, I mean, that does, support my lifestyle, and I'm able to do certain things. So I had to get in the grind for a little bit because, when you're in the nightclub business, you kind of live in a fantasy world, and sometimes.
Well, I'll just say right now, like, your birthday the other night hurt me.
Oh, it was insane, bro. It was a movie.
Hurt me. I'm like, okay, oh shit, I gotta make sure the next time
Yeah, but sometimes it's fun. You know what I mean?
It is fun. Tell me to stand on the couch, and I'm over here like, I'm sitting on the couch, and they're like, no, but you could stand on the couch here.
Yeah, we're jumping on the couch.
And I'm like, okay. At one point, I'm checking
I don't even know. Like, I
don't stand on couches. I think I was drunk. I was fucked up.
Yeah.
And I went on my Insta story, and I shot a video from the top, and I put like a message that said like, now I'm standing on a couch, and I don't even stand on couches. You know?
Yeah. So I got yo, bro. It was so lit.
Oh, so lit. And shouts to A and shouts to Bet, because I don't say either of those things, and now I'm saying
I know that's
Bet
my
all the time.
When I'm in we'll call him Alex at night. When I'm in Alex at night mode,
I like that.
Bet and I and
sounds
all
like
of
an
those,
album.
Yeah, you know,
that's tough.
You know, those words are used often. But no, during the day, so I got, you know, I was just grinding, you know, still partying. I started going to checking out different scenes and, you know, just kind of getting away from the people that I would see a lot. And I still love to party, and, you know,
Who doesn't like having fun?
Yeah, exactly, man. And
I think
shout out to my boy George. George always took care of me. You know which George I'm talking about. And so then, you know, my man Scrvp is grinding. He's producing. He's putting out tracks. He's getting a ridiculous amount of clout on you know, when SoundCloud was really popping. He was riding that wave, and it was dope. And SoundCloud's still doing his thing, and we're up there. But at the time, you know, he took advantage of that, and so we circled back around. He was, you know, he wanted to legitimize the collective, and, you know, turn it from a collective into a record label. And then that's when I came in, and we, you know, we started it as a record label, and now, you know, we have a ton of artists, A level, B level, C level, all types of artists.
You said it switched up to almost like
so
ended up getting some EDM in there, right?
It's I wouldn't say it's predominantly EDM, but it's predominantly trap.
Gotcha.
And it's trap, hip hop trap. We got some Latin trap, and then just some real gritty trap, dubstep, like headbanging festival.
You'll
type.
find me there.
Yeah.
Bloody fucking knuckles.
Yeah,
just getting
we throw
down.
parties. We've thrown parties. We threw a dope. My favorite party so far has been this mansion party that we threw. Shout out to J2. Shout out to my boy George out of Chicago. Those guys showed us love, hosted a mansion for us, and we had some dope talent come through and kill it. We did like a all-day back-to-back DJ to DJ. It was insane, man.
Sounds
mansion,
like it.
pool, the whole 9 yards. So that was dope. And from there, we just kept plugging away, man. We kind of the same concept. We kept my boy Kevin and some of the other guys on the team, Nate out of Florida. There's so many people that I, you know, to name. Started, you know, really going hard and finding these artists to put music out, and it's rocking, man. It's, you know, I can't be more than, it's our 3 years, 3-year anniversary.
That's
we're
a nice
celebrating. Yeah, we're gonna put out some T-shirts and all that stuff.
Word. Okay.
So
let me know too, because Brooke was just on, right? So
yeah. I do want to connect with him.
Yeah, for sure.
I just got off the phone.
And that's Brooke with Mass Apparel. Shouts to Mass Apparel.
Facts. And so there's a bunch of stuff.
383 Cambridge, Austin, man.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff that we got working on.
As you can tell, I'm not sure.
And so then I said, you know what? I love hip hop, man.
Yeah.
I love hip hop, you know? So, and there's a lot of raw talent coming up right in my city. You know, I don't have to go far. On the MMXVAC side, you know, I got this kid, Mitch out of New Orleans, Chad out of Daytona, J2, they're out of here, but they're out of Western Mass. So there's a bunch of artists. Those are just guys off the top of my head. My guy Avila out of Puerto Rico, Wolves Can Riot. I mean, I could go on and on, but we're spread out, right? So I said, you know, I want to really like get to know my guys on, you know, I could dap you up, and I love Boston, and although I think Boston is a dope city and there's some dope guys doing some dope parties, it's separated in a sense, where guys are kind of doing their own thing. And, you know, that's cool, but I just think that partying could use a tweak. And you know what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah,
and with that being said, that's where my idea with the collective came.
Now that they know, what is an art collective?
Yeah, man. So let's go back to the email. What is
but that's important. Right?
Yeah, facts, man.
Sometimes,
so
especially
people don't know what there's like there's all different names for it, right? There's like you can call yourself a DJ crew, or I wouldn't say this is the DJ crew, because in the collective there's only 3 DJs. Viper, 4 Sticks, Drunky, Twin, and Vipers. Oh, and my man Scrvp is included. He's just in Colombia doing his thing, so he's not part. He's not part of the conversations that we have all the time.
And I'm sure he's not. But when I hear that, the first thing I think is he's just in Colombia doing his thing.
Nah,
fucking wham! There goes the table.
Hey, that's funny.
That's a mean look though. No disrespect.
Scrvp. He has the biggest sense of humor, man. He's totally down. You'll love him. But the funny thing is, the kid's a vegan, man. He's like a straight, healthy, don't put anything bad in his body, man.
Good.
He smokes weed. I got him to smoke way more weed, and I think he smokes more now in Colombia.
Bad in your body. Exactly. Ain't bad.
Organic.
But
what is an artist collective? An artist collective is simply a group of creative people coming together to support each other's projects. It's somewhat structured in the sense that there are weekly or bi-weekly meetings with an agenda. Any decisions or investments into the collective are done through a voting process and split evenly. The vibe and energy is the most important aspect and crucial detail to the success of the collective. Some of the most successful collectives have turned into full-on radio labels. QC, that's what Migos and them, Quality Control. They were more of a collective in the beginning.
You also got Logic with Visionary. You also got Cole with Dreamville. You also, I mean, in my opinion, those are also collectives.
Yeah,
they're team. Hey, we're talking about team.
Yeah, I mean, we're a squad.
At the end of the day, we're talking about squad, team. Yep.
And so I want to highlight on the vibe, right? So the vibe and the energy is the most important aspect and crucial detail to the success of the collective. So basically, my thought is, when we're in our space, like it's us, we're in a closed room, we're vibing. I want to be able to take my shoes off, and if they smell, you cool with that? You're gonna tell me, yo, your feet smell, bro. Thinking. Your feet smell.
And you ain't gonna get offended.
Nah, all right, cool, man. If I could change my socks, I'll change my fucking socks, whatever. Wash my feet. But when we're out, right? But when we're out,
if I could take a moment to go wash my feet.
You know what I mean? Put some soap on that shit. But when I'm out and we're out as a squad, we may have our chest puffed out a little bit, and that's just because that's when we're on. That's when it's showtime. We're humble.
Isn't everybody's, including the ladies?
Yeah, absolutely, right? Man. Isn't everybody's? Yeah, of course. And so that's the vibe that we want to portray, and that's the vibe that it's just natural. It's not even the portraying; it's we are. Yeah. You know. Yep. And also the consistency. Yeah. Right, the consistency. We've been consistent either in communicating or meeting. Yeah, and that's important.
Started a calendar, started a WhatsApp chat.
Yeah,
and and on the vibe look, like you said, you like to highlight the vibe. Just this morning, like I just felt almost inclined to write the message and be like, yo, honestly, the energy on this every single day is something fucking.
Someone in the crew says good morning. I don't remember how many times I've seen good morning.
That's what I'm saying.
What the hell?
Now, and listen, so when Alex and I first met, the first 30 minutes, part of that in the conversation was the understanding of what a team can do for everybody in the team and how much faster you could end up accomplishing everything. And when we're talking about that, like whether you're talking about the Fab Five or you talking about who else we got? We got Kendrick with it's not Top Dawg. Is it? Yeah, because Top Dawg would have lost his life. Yep, so it's with Top Dawg Entertainment. You're talking about these teams where it's smart off the rip.
Yes.
Because
Russ has he's not part of a collective, but his team is.
That's what I'm saying. Boogus. Yo, I was just playing Kiki by Russ, like some old school. He sampled something that I sampled, like not the same track, same unknown band. Shouts to by Seaside Town, something like that. I think is the name of the track. I'll find it. I'll post it on here. But yeah, either way, that team look, the team look is important. Why? Like, that's what the company's trying to do when they do team building. And what's your fucking initiative then? Right. What do you really want your initiative to be? You know, who do you really want to be? And first and foremost, to be whoever you really want to be, you already know how you act when you're around other people that love you, other people that, as Will Smith would put it, help fan your flames, right? Not the people dousing your fire, but the people that get you going. And that's what that in the morning does when it says good morning and someone's like, what's good? And for dude, I know, because there's a few days that I know when you're not in a good mood, and then boom, that starts popping up, and boom, 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 and you see that little red notification thing, and there's a few extra ones in there, more than a few, and it's going down. And hey, WhatsApp brings you right to the top of where you left off, and you could run back through it. And now you almost are gonna want to feel, you almost feel whack as shit that you're not having the vibe. Right? Isn't that what you want? Facts. Isn't, why are you showing up to any job that ain't doing that? Facts. Right?
So yeah, man, boom, you hit it on the head, man. But that's it's always been my mindset, man. Like, you know, even when, you know, like, I'm the type of guy, some would say I have a high position in the company that I work for.
You do.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. I know you're modest and shit like that.
I don't feel that way.
I know, like, but that's why I made you shout out what you do, because not even really just because people need to know you got a resume, but more because I already know that's part of the reason why Organic Budz is a thing, that you're going to be a little bit more humble and modest than most people. And the podcast, you got to shine through 100%. You're a general manager, son. Yeah. Right? I mean, it don't matter what big corporate job you got. If you manage,
Yeah. So my thing is, like, when I come in the morning, I grab lunch every day almost with my valet guy. Word. He's my homie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's my homie. I don't go into work. He wears, you know, very casual type clothing to work, jeans and whatever. He's just a valet guy. You know what I'm saying? But I'm never going to give him that, you know, just because that's your position at work, technically.
Yo, all work is honorable, in my opinion.
Facts. If that guy calls out sick, you know how fucked I am that day? You know what I'm saying? I have clients that are going to show up, and I have no one to do the basic functions, right? And it's not even that basic, right, when you really think about it, because you need a nice personality. You need to be on point and alert and so on and so forth, right? Who's going to do that job? Who's going to be that nice to my clients? And
a lot of people might forget, listen, when you're on the way in anywhere, everything, for whether it's the valet guy or it's the person at the front desk, listen, your opinion started the second you entered that property, and then the first person who influences you makes a big difference, right? Even if they on some shout like, oh, you know, like, hey, good morning, what's up? Don't really look at you. Like, okay, like, if you smile, if you good, if you in good spirits, right? That shit blends just like the people at the club, just like the energy.
I catch the people that have bad vibes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
You know, boom. If you're not there, I just move on. Yeah. Because you're not really bothering me. You know what I mean? I like, okay, no problem. You know, we just don't vibe. Boom. My vibe is still gonna be dope. You know, but yeah.
I like that. That should go on a shirt too. If Nikki was listening, that should go on a shirt too.
Let's get that.
My vibe is gonna be dope.
Facts, because we create it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How can we individually and mutually benefit from a collective, right? You know, there's parties, there's projects, right? There's at the end of the day, it's just a support group. You know, and the more in the know you are with your fellow person, you know, what he has going on and what I got going on, you're going to support that project, right? Because you just feel vested because you know more about it, right? So that's kind of what we do. Sure. That's one of the topics we do when we get together. You know, what do you have going on, right? I tried never to end the meeting without at least everyone sharing what they have going on.
Yeah, it needs to be part of the meeting step,
And look how, like, at first, maybe in the beginning, like, oh, yo, I got this event, it was maybe a little bit harder, but now you can see organically everyone's like, we got that party tonight. everybody.
But it doesn't even feel like it's on a task list.
Yeah, it's different. It's just like, oh yeah, I'm there. It's Tuesday night, I'm there. I don't care if I got to work in the morning, I'm there. You feel me? I'm there with my homies. Like we're in there. You know, we brought some people all the way from New Hampshire.
Oh,
to go down. Mo brought like two carloads. You feel me? Like we're here.
I feel you.
We're here.
Carloads.
You know, so I'm gonna shout out. I skipped through some stuff because I want to keep that a little bit between us. But
for sure,
who is part of the collective, right? So you guys know from what my perspective from day one of who was part of the collective.
And he wrote this before we
really
met.
even really getting into it. Because I read
this email after you had already sent it. Yeah, ill timing. Ill timing.
Who's part of the collective? No one in the group is a slouch. You've either been in the game and have seen success, or you're currently making the right moves to propel your career. There is no intention of changing who you are, because obviously what you've done so far has worked. The common goal would be for us all to grow and show the city what coming together really looks like. All right, so I wrote a quick description of everyone on the team. As you guys, you know, my background, I used to, you know, I was a part of Naga, the opening, and for quite a period of time, and then it changed ownership and stuff like that after I moved out of the city. And then came back, you know, I run a pretty prominent luxury dealership during the day, and my passion has always been music. So you know, I got myself involved in the record label. That's I'm having a lot of fun with in this project. I'm having a lot of fun with Manny. He's a DJ and a producer, very well connected, and he's connected to, you know, a lot of the behind the scenes people that you want. Like everybody kind of like has the yearn to know.
Function.
You need those people.
The scene needs them to function.
My guy Manny, you know, he's connected to those. Then we got Raheem and Rasheed. Raheem is the DJ. Rasheed is his support. A lot of times he hosts for him. DJ Twin the Selector. They're from Cambridge, hype man and DJ, working with some of the top local talent. They work with Millies. They work with some of the other dope artists coming out of Cambridge and Boston. And he you know, he had recently come off a tour from Philly and stuff. So you know, he's working, he's grinding, he's doing his thing. That kid's booked every time I look, he got a flyer up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's doing some celebrity basketball game in April.
Oh really? Yeah. Throw that on the calendar.
Yeah. What else? He's just got hooked with the radio station, so he's doing Providence.
Which one?
80. Let me be clear on this.
Smartphones, dumb people.
Yeah, no. Well, this was announced today. This was announced today, so
Word.
I just want to make sure I get this right, because otherwise he's a big dude, you know. No, I'm just kidding. 88. Oh, I'm sorry. 89.
They big dude.
Yeah, they are, man.
That's a house
but
team.
They're the nicest guys, aren't they, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like
for sure.
Yeah, man.
100%.
89.9 The Juice in Providence.
Okay.
So that he's grinding. He's really young. He's in school. He's just doing the right thing, and he's grinding. He's out there working, man. He's just you know, you can't
the hustle,
the positive
is clear.
vibe too. Yeah, the hustle's clear, but you know, they're just really positive. You know, they don't get caught up in the stuff or the, you know, the negative energy or what could take you down. They don't get caught up in that stuff.
Yeah.
Neither does Junkie, man. Junkie's, you know, he's a hardworking guy. He works for the state. You know, he's out there DJing and producing, and you know,
he did a tour in overseas, didn't he? In Europe, I think.
Yep. And he's, you know, getting called to do Amsterdam. He's working that out. He got some sponsorship stuff working in the background. So, you know, these are not slouches, but they're really humble, nice guys. You know? Yeah. Lewis, DJ Sticks. I don't know if you really got to connecting with him, but
I think I talked to him on Instagram back and forth a couple times. Yeah.
The nicest guy. Word. You know, in a sense where he's not a fuck boy.
Now,
you know what I mean?
Do you know by chance, was he at that release party of GI's?
I wasn't there. He could have been.
I feel like he's
going to be there at this party tonight.
Word, okay. I need to double check that.
Yeah, he's going to be there tonight. He's someone that, again, I used to book him back in the day. He showed a lot of love to the stuff that I was doing back in the day. And and he's just kind of an OG. So he's a really good piece to the puzzle, because he can, you know, when these guys have questions or, you know, they need someone to look up to, you know, he can guide them. Plus he's grinding his ass off too, so, you know, it just kind of works out that way. But, you know, he's the realest guy you're ever gonna meet. He'll tell you what he feels, but he's not, you had to have been an asshole for him to say something fucked up to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's that guy. You know what I mean? He's not.
I mean, I know how that goes.
Yeah. He's not gonna just tell you, you know, to shit in a hat if you don't deserve it. You see what I'm saying? That's my man. And then Kenji's he's a nephew of Bobby Brown. He's done concerts. He has a lot of
booking.
Yeah, exactly. And he also, what's the shop that he works for? Beta, is that right? The vape
I'm not
shop?
Sure. I just know We Won Entertainment.
We Won Entertainment. That's his brand. We Won, man. You see that everywhere. But he has a pretty good relationship with a lot of artists, directly connected to them, and
and this ain't nothing against, well, definitely nothing against anybody else that's in there, but I mean, when I was a little kid and you hear that the loudest motherfucker in the room is also the one that...
The weakest.
Yeah. Okay. That naturally, automatically made me see the 180 and start thinking about the quietest person in the room. Plus, my moms will tell you, right, I've always been friends with all walks of life. It don't matter who. So then there's a point in time in my life where I started like, okay, like the quiet one, but... that's a bad look. Like emotional intelligence aware, definitely can feel the vibe, definitely knows what's going on, right? So like that was just, it's funny, like that lesson in my life, right? Immediately. If anything, like when he ain't talking, I'm gonna get right next to him. What's in your head?
I'll tell you one thing about that boy though, he could party. That boy can party. Yo, he can party, man. He keeps it pretty low key, you know what I'm saying? But when it's time to party, that boy knows how to party.
Yeah, and, I feel you.
Yeah, he's like a big brother to me. So, yeah. And then Mohammed, right? We got Mohammed.
Ari Gold. Yo, you ever seen Entourage, the show? Because this the Enlightened Entourage, but Entourage, the show.
Yeah.
There's Ari Gold. I'm pretty sure he actually plays like is supposed to be loosely based around a real Hollywood agent, but like
Ari's the agent.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Mo.
That's Mo.
Facts.
You know what I'm talking about though? Absolutely. In Entourage.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is Mo.
Yeah. Nick,
he could talk. That boy, man.
And I called that he was a Leo rising, right? Because I'm too much into Zodiac and shit,
but he's genuine though.
Yeah, actually, you know what I'm saying? He had cancer too.
Yeah.
And for everyone listening, it's like, fuck horoscopes. Yeah. Well, you know what? Take it all out then, and now I'm just saying, like, I get Muhammad.
He's a passionate.
He was podcast #1.
Yeah.
I think I would start something so important to me if I didn't really think that the first was gonna be dope.
So my background with Mo is him and I. We worked at a different dealership together. Yep. Same company that I work for now.
He's another one. Everybody, but he's another one. Proven on the intellectual and able to run shit.
He's really good. He's good at his job. He's a finance manager for another dealership. And he's really good at his job. I like the self-edit.
You're good with the self-edit.
Yeah.
Even in this conversation, yeah. Okay. Props to the self-edit. Be self-aware.
So... Nah, he's cool people, man, and him and I we've grinded together, you know, in the work setting. Me and that guy have went at it. That's why I knew that I could connect with him, because
it's like a brother look.
Oh man, him and I we've wanted to kill each other, and the next day, yo man, my bad, bro. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, cause that's how real we can get with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of people you could do that with.
No,
there's a lot of people you say certain things, and then the next day they never want to talk to you. They hold grudges forever.
Yeah.
You know,
or people that would rather never talk to you again than say I'm sorry.
Yeah, and him and I, you know, we've learned to how to work with each other, you know, in that setting.
That's so
and then
important.
We just became brothers, you know what I'm saying? Through that, and just working together and in the grind, and working till freaking 10, 11 o'clock at night, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then going to party. You know what I'm saying? Like we're both, that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like if I know for sure that he would have my back if I'm like, yo, dude, I need some help here, man. And the same goes for
I feel
me
you.
to him. So So Mo, you know, he did some other stuff in the nightclub scene. Nothing that we're doing right now, but the guy has so much passion and energy, and he learns so fast.
So much energy.
Yeah, that
rubs off immediately.
I would say he's gonna be an executive in the music industry, somewhere or another, like in a short period of time. Like he learns.
That would make sense.
Yeah, he learns, and he knows how to, you know, connect himself, and he just learns so quickly. So. Yeah, and then we got my boy Steve. I don't have Steve on the email, and I want you know share a little bit about yourself too. My man Steve, he's Steven shot me. He worked a lot with us on the MMXVAC project. I've known him from the Naga days.
Oh, you guys go that far back?
We go that far back.
Damn. Okay.
And he's always shown a ton of love. Like he's the guy that, you know, he'll just break out the camera and start shooting and not you know, he's not, some guys will be like, oh man, if I break out this camera, man, I gotta charge you $75.
Yeah. Oh, on that look, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And then there's some people that break it out where like they've questioned when they were going to break it out already.
Oh,
so
that guy.
They feel like, am I in the right spot right here? Should I? Nah, he just.
I had this one guy that I won't name names.
This one guy.
We took a trip together. I can't even say the place that we went to because
everyone will know.
Yeah, but this freaking guy, man, you like, yo, like, see, if I went to my man Steve, like, yo, Steve, you know, you want to do something over here? Because in my mind, I think Steve was like, yeah, bro, let's get it.
Yep.
This guy, Alex, I know what I'm doing. I'll pull up my camera when I want to. That type of shit. I'm like, man, he was just hard to work with. And so whatever. But my man Steve, he's always shown love. He's always tried to make it work. It's a business, you know what I mean? So, you know, I always make sure. Working. Yeah, and I always make sure, you know, that you know, that if we take him away from a potential, you know, project, that he's you know, he's compensated at least equal.
I've already thought, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that goes for everybody, but
yeah,
there's
you know
some that come every day that day.
Yeah, because his eye is crazy, and he's a big part of our project. I mean, he's like
I love the way he explained it to Shannon when they were talking about taking pictures. He explained it to her like, you know, because everybody wants to take the picture and then see, like, how is my left tooth in that? Because my left tooth isn't my good, right? They just get all fucking specific. Shannon did not do that, but I'm just saying they were probably doing some
conversation.
They were doing some reflecting on, like, you know, like, how did I look at everything? And the way that his eyes lit up in talking about just like, he'd be like, yo, you guys are I'm paraphrasing, right? I'm paraphrasing, but he'd be like, yo, like, it's funny, like, what people's eyes catch to be beautiful, you know, it's not even about more than half the shit that most people think needs to be off the rip included for it to be a profound dope picture, right? And here's also why we all vibe on the organic growth look, on the quality of the moment look. So I think it's safe to say that Steven is probably a big quality of the moment guy.
Huge.
You know what I'm saying? Out of all of us,
bro.
Right?
We love you, Steve.
Yeah. Like I even when I would do the radio show, the 91.1 FM, UMass Amherst, WMUA, I'd be big on like, whether I just met you and I turn on my voice memo and be like, all right, you want to do a shout out? I don't give a fuck. I don't care what you say, right? Just throw in the Samson and the Delilah Disco 91.1 FM. Throw it in there somewhere, right? So I would love when people messed up. I would love when they asked to do another one, and I'm like, no, that's straight. And they're like, you sure? Yeah. I'd love it if it was too loud in the background and they needed to get to their enunciated self. I love it if I just recorded Griz. He don't know this, so Griz is... I hope he watches this someday. Shouts to Late Night Radio, but shouts to Griz. So Griz, they're out in Denver. They're on the more of an EDM scene, but Griz, he's just on a different level when it comes to saxophone. Oh my God. gosh. Yeah. You know, anytime the horns are crying like that,
I love,
you're just like,
if everybody doesn't, if you guys don't know about me, man, maybe I love jazz, man. Jazz, bro.
Me too. Hey, Sun Ra.
Yeah.
Shouts to Sun Ra. You ain't heard of Sun Ra? Just throw on a YouTube because it's gonna make you laugh anyway. Cause,
oh man.
And then once you become a fan, yep.
La Fabrica.
They do jazz.
Real quick. So they have. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like, so I had let me get into this a little bit, right? So I was running this.
Well, hang on. Just before you get into it. So, Griz, don't worry. I'll never show nobody. But I got 30 minutes of the first time you went snowboarding, and you were telling me the story, and you went nosedive, and you busted your motherfucking ass. Right? Well, I guess I just told everybody. But I don't think you would care because he was telling me unannounced. So, don't worry. I ain't never going to play it for nobody. Right? But then he shouted out the show. So, all right. So, go on.
Yeah, so I had I had some spiritual vibes with Naga. You know, when I left, I was like, I had a lot of passion towards that place. And
wait, so what do you mean by spiritual vibes? You're
like,
saying
I committed
you a little bit. It messed
No, it was just like, when the end of something comes, you just move on.
Yeah.
So I in my mind, I moved on. Right. The chapter's over, and I moved on.
I can relate.
Now I've seen pictures and all this stuff, right? Before I visited the place, this place is gorgeous, right? New place. I mean, new business. They remodeled the place. They kept some of the stuff the same. Like, they just did a lot of cool changes. And I was like, I seen the pictures. I'm like, that shit's dope, man. Giving a thumbs up from this side, right?
Yeah.
But still spiritually, I wasn't gonna go in there.
Yeah, I mean,
it just was what it was at that time.
Even an addict needs to get 100% away from everything that ties him to the past in order to properly move forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so I was like, all right, whatever, man. That's a cool place, but I'm busy and there's other places, whatever. On a fluke. Because I thought I was going to the Middle East. So my boys were throwing a party. My guys, Moses and Fran Diego, shout out to those guys. I'm gifted. They were throwing a party, and I thought it was at the Middle East. So I said, oh shit, let me go check out my boys at the Middle East. I haven't seen them in a while, whatever. I get to the Middle East. They have an event going on that doesn't look like the demographic that I'm attending to, right? I don't want to say what it is or not it is, but I was like, oh, I'm not supposed to be here.
In them tiki torch wides.
Yeah, I was like, man, door guy, this doesn't look like where I'm supposed to be. He said, so I pulled up the flyer. I said, yo, man, this is where I'm supposed to be. I said, no, man, you got to go around the corner, man. You got to go to this new place, man, La Fabrica. And I looked at the people. I said, shit. Damn, I vowed never to go back in that place. So I said, I didn't want to mess up my friend's vibes. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take one from the team. For the team, went up in there, had a great time.
Shit. Takes a different man just to do that.
Yeah, I had a great time and rocked out, man. I was like, you know what? I'm glad I went in here, right? Circled back around about a week ago. I just haven't had the time to make it over there again. The guy that him and I worked together, we were just basically partners. So I created the vibe in the nightclub, and he, handled the logistics.
Word.
And we just really worked well together. And he's back there. So I'm like, you know what? Took me some time to be like, I'm gonna go check him out, right? So then we came together. There's some stuff that we're doing, and I'm like, you know what? That space is still so dope. I want to maybe do something there again. So it took me a little nerve. I was like, yo, you know what? Boom, I'm going to go in there. Not to talk to anybody, because, I have no problem talking to anybody, but just the thought of it.
Yeah,
and,
100%.
So I went there, had a couple drinks, and I looked over. I'm in their front bar, so it's a pretty cool place. They have a front bar, kind of the restaurant's in the middle with another bar, and then they have a big nightclub in the back.
Word.
And the front bar, when I was there, was just an open space with some seats, and we would move the seats out and make
And they made that into. Are you saying the front bar? Or they made that into a restaurant.
So it's always been part of the restaurant.
Okay.
Right? So they have some bar seating.
Gotcha.
Right, and then they have a
Scorpion
space.
bar, the way that.
Yeah, a little bit, but there's one place where you could put some high tables and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
So what the new place did was they moved the area where they would put the high tables, and they built a little stage They put a piano, put some lighting, drum set, and a real the real deal jazz setup. Oh. And they only, well, maybe they don't only do it. I only.
Well, good, because what's it called? This closing.
I know, man. I'm sad at Wally's. I'm sad about that. Mm. They cater to Latin jazz, which is dope to me. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they do like other jazz or whatnot, but the setup is sick, man. The setup is insane.
Yeah. I think jazz at a certain point in time they just stopped.
That was really a long conversation about jazz, but
no, that's good. Shouts to Nas.
Yeah.
No, for real though. Have you ever noticed? I don't know. So if you think of any of your favorite jazz musicians, have you ever noticed that the differences in the way that they talk? If you see them in an interview,
yes,
and something like that, there's something that has to do with like almost like because you're blowing the sound and the feeling is part of the blowing, that you're blowing the feeling, and that in a way you communicate differently, especially if you're like some of those I'm not sure who, I don't want to say the wrong name, but if you're like an old school jazz, there's some old school jazz artists that actually, the way that they don't really communicate with people. They don't really talk to people. Like then there's some that are very animated and everything, but you know, when you're shut off. So at the end of the day, what I'm getting to is if one of the ways that you communicate is by playing music, and the other way is by regular talking to people, well then there's when you're playing the music to communicate, and that's a higher ratio or done way more than you are actually sitting at a podcast communicating with people, then it comes out via the way that you're communicating with people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, yeah. So they're very, they're natural. They're either more naturally animated or more shut off. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense because you're
saying some of the truest shit you've ever said through that horn. Yeah. And you probably don't get to conversations that are as true as what you just said to a group of people via that horn, you know?
Right. Nah, yeah, it makes a lot. It's like with all art too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're on a canvas, man. You just different. You know what I'm saying? You just in a zone.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Back to it's all good, man. Back to the vibe, man. So at the end of the day, in conclusion of our project, man, we just, we had a meeting, we came together, we kind of shared what we got going on, and what we can do together. And I have to say, there's a lot of bangers coming this summer.
For sure.
We have the podcast, right? Mm-hmm. Supporting the hell out of the podcast.
Thank you.
We have, the two DJs, ton of events that they're going to be hosting. We have some out-of-state stuff that's coming together in some really fun areas that we're going to host parties in other cities and whatnot. And then we have just this whole like kind of a social media blog presence too that we're going to create.
Yeah. It's going to be very fun to watch it take off.
Through and a lot of stuff through Steven's vision. So
yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful thing to watch that grow.
Yeah, facts.
For sure. And Nick and I were even just talking about before the podcast, actually, just imagine getting to the point where then you don't need something to support your lifestyle supports your lifestyle, and then at that point, how when we were talking in regards to music, and we were bringing up a lot of the teams that we've already brought up, people who have made it. We were actually talking about Logic, right? I'm a big Logic fan, and it's so funny how he intros Bobby Tarantino too, because we were both laughing, just kind of saying like, yo, like Welcome to Forever is one of the illest albums that has ever dropped. But I wasn't really feeling, it's not that I wasn't really feeling Everybody, but I wasn't really feeling the album Everybody and everything. And now when you think about that from the artist standpoint of like, when you see the come up and Russ, right? I followed Russ on Instagram when that homie had 3,000, or not Instagram, sorry, SoundCloud, when that homie had 3,000 followers, okay? So I really watched his, so I heard everything else. And then now you got to think about both the strategic decisions when you're making an album, and if you're thinking about it like money.
Bro. Not only that, the marketing behind. I mean, I learned that firsthand when I jumped into this project with my guy Scrvp. The marketing and the behind the scenes that it really takes to get your music out there.
Yeah,
I don't know if people realize that. You know, I know, you know, there's a lot of guys out there that are making dope music, right? Or guys and girls, but there's a lot of people out there making dope music. But there's the business side of it, and you have to understand that. You know, you have to understand that if you really want to be successful. And because you know, I've seen. You know, there's been cases where, you know, someone may ride a wave, right? Okay, you may have a track that popped off or something went viral, right? And then you have this wave, but the business doesn't carry you.
Yeah, and this is an important metaphor in regards to anyone wanting to start any business.
Anything.
Like,
right?
First you got to hit the ground running, and then you need to manage your sales and production
Well, think about it, right? You know, let's say we were going to start a cupcake business, right? Do we want to...
Shouts to John Cupcakes.
Bam, right? Oh, I love that place. We may be broke, right? And on the grind, and we may have to make cupcakes out of our kitchen, right?
Yeah.
Is that our goal for like 10 years? No, right? You want to move into
you see them on Shark Tank.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that exact thing came on Shark Tank. You know what I mean? Like,
you want to stay in the kitchen? Don't you want to move into a storefront? Don't you want to do bigger things?
So let's use this, right?
You need a business.
I see where you're going with that. And then aside from then moving the business, now you're the cupcake owner and you own the bit. Because listen, I wouldn't be fantasizing about us doing anything less, right? So saying like, I know what I'm doing when it comes to a lot of at least making the smart decision. When it comes to, there's a process to even make this smart decision, right? So I don't picture us being the cupcake owner that gets run down after 7 years or not even, and decides that they don't want to, they don't even.
Who wants to do that?
Now they don't love it no more.
You didn't even make money.
My boy said it the best. He always loved fixing cars, but when you become a mechanic and it's something that you're required to do in order to make a living, and then that business ain't even right, watch what that's going to do to you about how you feel about cars now.
Right.
You know, so then let's just say we're the cupcake owners. We own the whole shit. Matter of fact, it's on a franchise model look, so not only do we not need to be there, but someone else could be basically just giving us a truck, running it with our model and template later on. So then you get there. Right. So, and I think the conversation Nick and I were having was more about there for the up and coming artists. Now, I'm not going to throw shade at anybody, and I'm not even throwing shade. I fucking love Logic, right? I love, you know, Youngster, let's go. So I'm visionary to the day I die. Shit, he's got a part in a song that I did, right? But then you get there. So when you already know all these things about life, whether it is how real the come up and how much you can, at the end of the day, any entertainment comes to, you still need to relate to an audience market base. You need to relate, and a lot of things when you see people get there, that really hurts hurts how them cupcakes come out, hurts how people hear their music, is you ain't struggling no more. You got all that money, you're not even worried about being there. Now, is there a life hack into that, so when you get there, that you also that passion, love, and that end product of the come up is still coming out? And what that would come down to is how you're going to relate to that audience, how you're going to relate to those people. So what we were just brainstorming on were just things like, okay, well, if you get there with one thing, then I'm a big advocate of level 5 leader, and the difference between a 4 being the best leader ever and a level 5 being the best leader ever is that 5 make sure they teach someone else who's about to be coming up how to do it like them, do it the right way, run their shit so their legacy carries on, or even if it's not their shit.
That's huge. That's so,
you know what I'm saying,
man. That's like.
It's like what Dre's doing now. Look at
and I mean even like that's kind of like what I was thinking with the collective in the beginning, right? Because it just this whole thing started with just myself and Drunky. Drunky reached out to me, wanted to do some stuff. I knew what he can do. I knew he was hot. Like, we had a good vibe. We, we connected through someone mutual.
Tourage.
So exactly. Tourage.
Mutual shared love.
Exactly.
Mutual shared,
Exactly. So, we connected and we were like, yo, whatever, let's work together. Then, with literally the same week, Mo reached out to me and said, yo, my homie, he's doing his thing, like, can you help? And my background is the legitimacy and the marketing behind music, right? So, like, if you release a track, like, my company will make sure that if you're releasing on my label, that shit's going out there. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like what we were saying about that you're sometimes even your version of not really doing much is still the legit as fuck version of what everyone else thinks they're doing. I
had just to give you an idea, like, a lot of our independent, if you look them up on social media, they may appear as though, they got like, maybe 10K followers or less or something like that or whatever. Their tracks are doing better numbers than some of the people that you see on Instagram with a lot of followers and stuff like that. Because it's all perception, right? It is. Perception is reality, but it's not reality. Right? It is reality in the sense where people believe 90% of what they see, but it's also not a reality.
Well, that's why the public will convict you before the judge now.
Exactly. But it's not, sometimes it's not a reality. Some of these artists that are, doing their thing and you hear about them or whatever, their tracks are not really being played as much as, say, like, someone else, whatever. So we have that platform, right? So now it's all about, my goal is, like, I have a pretty well-oiled machine with the MMXVAC brand. Like, my man Scrvp, he's the CEO of the company. I'm the vice president. He kills it, man. He just knows what he's doing, and he goes to work every single day in a setting where, imagine this, you're in freaking Colombia, bro. Yeah. Where it's gorgeous and your living expenses are a lot less than the United States, and you still have to stay focused. Like, it's not easy. You know what I mean? And he's an animal. So, but now, these guys came to me, hey, what do you want to do? Hey, cool, man. In the background, these are the things that you need to have in place. All right. So let me help you. All right. But I'm helping my boy Drunky. Okay. I'm helping my boy Twin. Oh, okay. Oh, you both know my boy Sticks. Oh, okay. Oh, shit. Why don't we just work together? Oh, shit. Boom. Oh, we all know my boy Steve. Oh, shit. My man Steve kind of knows Sam, but and it just kind of, and then Kenji is my boy. We were talking about something. Kenji and I were going to do this project, and we are doing this project in Miami. And I was like, yo, Kenji, bro, like, we got something going on, man. Why don't you come in on these meetings? So I don't remember the point that I was getting to.
Well, we're basic. So I was just saying, once you get to that cupcake owner level.
So what I'm saying is, so I've had
keeping yourself in that.
Yeah. Well, back to, I've had kids, right? They've released music on their own, and they've done, 3K, 5K, 10K, 20K plays or whatever, right? Like, they're they're cool in their mind. That's a feat. And then, they release a song with us, and they do 100K, 200K, 500K, something a little bit more substantial, just on one platform, right? Yeah. These guys only have one platform. We don't only have one platform. We have, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, all these different platforms that we, push music to. And when we give them that platform, they're like, oh, they're so grateful. But in my mind, we're not done yet. Yeah. You got 500Ks. Yeah, that's better than what you've gotten. But, bro, we need to be on Billboard. We need to be, you need to be shooting for a Grammy. Like, that's what it's about.
And then you own the cupcake spot, and it still ain't done.
It's not done. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not done. Like, I could give up at working my 60-hour work week and be happy and be able to travel, but I gotta I got to answer to someone for the rest of my life. Like, that's not going to happen.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you right now, like, not even on some over-the-top shit, but, like, I know I need to grind harder than everybody else on the day-to-day. But I've already made it in my mind, and I'm a Mo too.
Yeah, you have to be proud of your accomplishments.
Well, so not only that, but I mean that, like, on a manifestation level, I already know it's all gonna happen. I think even on my worst days when I was ready to blow my fucking head off, that I always had this one little star glimmer of hope that, like, I just was supposed to be here for something a little bit greater. And I don't mean greater on the ego look. I mean greater on the what the average person does for everybody else compared to what I want to do for everybody else and with everybody else. And I've already done it. So I'm trying to almost have that foresight, be that visionary, try to think about, like, okay, because I'm nowhere near made it yet. Nowhere near it.
Right.
But when I get there, I want to already have taken notes on all the other people that have got there and what's the next way to throw my energy into it. And I know that's probably thinking way off topic, and this was more in regards to just once you see those artists and on their come up because it's so hungry and because they're not doing... Listen, if they are having trouble keeping on the lights, but they are going hard on a record, on that painting, on that dealer, whatever it is, well, whatever it is they're creating, it's a pretty safe bet that you can rely on that person for being passionate about it and that really being something that means something to them, you know? So then when you get there, though, now you're going to see some difference in people when you're like, okay, now you don't need to worry no more. And I know that when I have $10,000 in my account, I feel a hell of a lot better than when I got 9. You know what I'm saying? Right. Just that zero makes a big difference, right? But now you on the 6-0 and you got millions, right? You may imagine.
I will say this though, you know, to me, I mean, success, money is like, I don't know, money is, I guess, the result of your success, but I measure success, I don't know, it's not about the, it's
the difference between being rich and wealthy.
Yeah, it's, but, you know, I'm really going after, you know, I want to say the power, but I want to make a stamp. Yeah. You know, I want to make a stamp, like,
I want a Wikipedia page.
When that man, when people talk about Alex Perez from Boston, like, man, that guy, he was a good dude. He helped me. Like, we grinded together, whatever the case is, or, you know, he was a good guy. He supported me. Like, I just want to be, you know, known as the guy that, you know, I'm gonna help. You know, I'm gonna, if I got it, man, and I can give you advice, or I can give you some type of support, or we can do business together or something like that. I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? And I want to be, my legacy is not about making money, because you worked in corporate, right?
Yeah, everything that glitters is not gold.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey has this line, I think I brought up before, that I hope everybody can become filthy rich and famous just so that they all realize that never had anything to do with it. Look at Cole.
Trust me, you know, it's very satisfying when you pay a bill. You know what I'm saying? You don't got no one calling you for chasing a bill. You know what I'm saying? That's very satisfying. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, you know, there's a little bit more than the check.
And that's what I think is going to set us and you and I apart from a lot of the other people. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people are stopping at rich. A lot, and this has nothing to do with any of the teams I was talking about before, because Logic, I can't have Logic thinking this has nothing to do with that. I'm talking about just a lot of people, they get to a certain point and they get complacent as shit. And I like that. Complacent was one of the most searched words last year. And I even learned that it's not just you get cool with the same thing all the time. No, it's you get cool with something that's like against the law.
I'll tell you this, man.
And that's against our law, right? For
anyone that thinks that they're going to be complacent in the market that we're into right now.
You can get skipped quick.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're working with we're going to be collabing with a lot of different people. We're going to be out there making a lot of noise. We hope to vibe with you, but if you see us as a challenge, you shouldn't be complacent. Yeah. That's the last thing you want to do. That's just my word of advice.
For anything.
Because, yeah, I mean, you know. For
anything. Just list 4 things you really love. Family, friend, whatever. List 4 things.
Yeah, man.
Would you be cool with saying that you got complacent?
Yeah, I mean, and, you know, for the young guys that are listening, or the young girls and guys that are listening, why aren't you planned a year in advance?
I'm saying.
Right?
Doesn't it almost confuse you that some people...
Why aren't you planned a year in advance? Like, why are you planned only to next week?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to just think about certain things. You know, what you want, right? 4 months goes by like this. A quarter goes by like this. I mean, we just celebrated New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just looking.
It goes by so quick, and yet you got to know everything takes time at the same, you know?
It does.
It's like that odd balance of patience and hard work.
But, you know, it's always been my philosophy, don't put off something that you could, for something tomorrow that is something that you could do today, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
You know what I mean? If you could just get it, or put in your mind, I'm going to accomplish a task every day. It could be the biggest or the smallest task, whatever it is. But, you know, accomplish something. Right? You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to like preach and shit like that, but
no, not at all.
You know, that shit's important.
That's very,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and that's what the collective is like.
And get it, hey guys, you're not gonna do it all at once. Nothing happens all at once. The best things.
Shout out to Gary Vee.
Right? Yo, and fucking Joe Rogan, okay? And I'm gonna meet him in almost a month to the day and work his show at the Wilbur. And I'm gonna shake that man's hand in admiration, and maybe I'll slip a line that he needs to tell the Wilbur that they need to let me do this. Well, not me. They just should be thinking about doing a podcast, because every venue should be thinking about doing a podcast. Why are you not? You're already doing all that hard work to get them there, for everything else to sound good. Look, I'm doing this in my living room, right? You're going to get a good following. Document the process. Shouts to Gary Vee. And you're not going to be able to do it all at a time. And if you think that you're going to be able to do it all the time, that you're also probably going to be a kind of shitty person when it comes to planning and scheduling. So automatically times by 30% and add that time on. Off the rip, because that's some overhead type of thing at the end there that you need to do. Things always happen slower than you think they're going to go, even when you're smart as shit and you really did plan in what everyone else would say that's conservative and that's all the right. It's gonna take longer. It's going to take longer, but you can enjoy right now.
Man, every day off. Okay, religiously.
Yep.
I wake up at the same time. I don't. So.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think it's just my body. Yeah. But my routine's different. So on my day off, I wake up about 6 in the morning. Get out about 7:30. Yeah. Get to the dry cleaners.
Okay.
Yeah, get to the dry cleaners. Then I try to make the barbershop nice and early before anybody else. Try to get there between 8 and 8:30. Yeah. Right. And then once I leave there, it's a vacation day for me, man. You know what I'm saying? It's my day off. Yeah. So I'm going to breakfast by myself. I sit at the bar by myself. Order the same meal every time. 2 mimosas. Right?
I do the same shit.
Give me my 2 mimosas in the morning. Yeah, boom. Yeah. You know, by that time it's around 10:30. I don't give a fuck if I'm drinking at 10:30. It's my day off.
It's your day. It's vacation. It's vacation.
You know what I'm saying? I got my hair cut. Yeah. I'm looking fresh.
Just because you got 1 day of vacation don't mean it's not vacation.
Shit, right? So, and yes, I wear this much jewelry on my day off all the time. I don't give a fuck. But anyway, so I get my mimosas, I do my thing, you know, then I go back to the crib, you know, maybe do some stuff around the crib, get organized, maybe I have a task to do, roll up, and then boom, I'm back out. Yeah. And then I'm enjoying my day, man. I don't know where the day takes me, but you know, I make sure that I have that enjoyment, right? Because I think if you don't have that, if you don't have that one day to look forward to where it's your day, or whatever, or however you celebrate your unwind. If you don't have that small moment, you're gonna drive yourself crazy. You're gonna drive yourself crazy, man, and you may get a nervous breakdown. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? You're just too, you got to be in the grind. Trust me, man. Work. But at the end of the day, every now and then you got to take a little time for yourself, and just, whether it's going to the spa, getting your nails done,
or taking the long
whatever.
Hashtag TED Happy Maps, right? That there's a TED Talk called Happy Maps that says how everybody in this day and age thinks there's only two ways to get to your destination, the shortest route or the fastest route. And granted, that's a great look for your GPS, but as a human with psychological needs as well, right? And they talk about how, like, the difference by driving past the school, if you like the school you grew up in, or that lake, or what, just things that you like to see, the difference, things that you like to see, how maybe in the big scheme of things, that's going to change everything by like 1 to 5 to 10 to 15 minutes. But what it does for you, and especially I see people, and I'm guilty of it too, for rushing all the time. And like, there's no need to be rushing like that.
It's hard not
when you're rushing, how are you enjoying what you're driving past, or the person you're talking to?
Yeah, trust me, it's hard not to, but you're right. You just gotta it's a
journey.
I get caught in that. Sometimes, I'm in the morning, I'm just flying to get to work. And then I'm like, but how much time is me driving like 10 miles? How much more time am I?
And aren't you just the coolest motherfucker that when you are feeling good on the road and you see someone else
chilling,
dipping or feeling bad, and you ain't even,
you laugh.
Not only do you laugh at them, or they come in front of you,
that motherfucker's crazy. I be laughing at. I'm trying to record him and shit. I shouldn't do that, but
every time I back into a parking spot, I think I'm a G.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. When I pull up to work, nice and slow. Sunglasses on.
Why are you speeding? You must not have your shit. I mean, I guess there's definitely, I drive fast. So if you see me speeding, it's because I'm enjoying the moment a little bit too much, probably. Right? I love driving. To me, it's just like, I always love go-karts. I always love ATVs. I always love dirt bikes. I like driving. So if I'm doing 90 past you, it's only because I know everything is going on the way I need it to be going on to do 90 and not worry about it. Matter of fact, I got the Waze up because I've been with Waze since back in the day when no one knew about Waze, because they're the first one to tag cops. And if you're driving at night and you get pulled over on the highway, you're an idiot, right? If there's cars in front of you and you don't know that a cop is coming up by checking brake lights and knowing the differences between, they're braking because there's a line of cars and they're braking because they're getting, hey, come on now, like, get strategic with this.
Seriously, man. Yeah, man. But man, just you gotta enjoy it. Take some trips sometimes. You know what I mean? Do your thing. But at the end of the day, it is about the grind. But at the same time,
But let me just throw a little, and correct me if I'm wrong, but a little correction on that. It's about the grind for you.
Yes.
So. And this will probably be like a nice little wrap up spot too, right? With the time that it is, right? We got to get going anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's getting late. Oh shit.
Hey, the podcast is real, but it's about the grind for you. And on the last podcast with Brooke, what we talked about is I told him how I only meditate for 10 minutes a day, and I have this thing. I'll do these supersets with Nikki Watt sometimes, where it's just like 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 10 pull-ups. I got that pull-up bar. Just putting that there makes me do more pull-ups and everything like that. I treat it like mistletoe sometimes. Every time you walk underneath it, do a pull-up, or do 5, so the next 5 times you walk underneath it, you're good. But either way, it's about the grind for you. And I want to shout out to Abraham Hicks and Esther Hicks. I want to highlight on momentum here real quick too. Whether it's your vacation, it's your day off, which is also your vacation, or if you want to make your every single day like your vacation, when you wake up in the morning, before you do anything else. And listen, it's not hard to wake up extra early when you're doing it for you. So you ever notice how it's hard to get up extra early when you need to be somewhere, you got to show up for something that you don't want to do? Well, maybe you got to show up to something that you don't want to do, but if before then you have this nice 1 hour, I eat breakfast, you know, maybe you watch cartoons, maybe you do 10 push-ups, 10 pull-ups, 10 sit-ups, something like that. When you make it about that, you are starting your momentum off in the beginning of the day with something that is not only positive for your mind, body, and soul, but then if you need to walk into something that you don't like to do or you don't want to be at for the rest of the day, which one do you want showing up?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now, facts, man. And a tip on sales, just and if you get to that point, just to touch on that, if you get to that point, right, to touch on sales and just like how, you know, if you get to that point where you can't get over a funk in the morning, when you walk in that door, fake that shit.
No, fake it till you make it.
Just fake it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one else wants to feel your bad vibe.
No.
Don't give that energy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta
and
really,
that's it's a different type of rub off.
You're not being fake. You're not being fake like, oh, I'm whatever. There's no need for you to give that energy to someone else. Keep it to yourself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Keep it to yourself.
100%.
And then, you know, deal with it.
Catch yourself while you bitching.
Yeah.
And pull the reins back, man.
Yeah. But good vibes. 1,000. It was a pleasure, right? MMXVAC is
shout out anything you want to shout out.
By the way, MMXVAC stands for 2015 Artist Collective.
No shit.
Yeah.
Fun fact of the day.
Yeah.
Damn. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Perez.
All day.
Thank you.
Likewise. Thank you, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
All right.